brave enough to speak out about an illness that's still stigmatised. Their stories of trying to get help from a service pushed to the limit have at times been horrifying.
I didn't care about life.
These are young people's lives, young people's futures that you were playing with.
In his first interview since taking over the mental health brief, we put some of their experiences to the minister in charge. Minister, I know you've been following our series over the past few days. We've seen evidence of £85 million of cuts to young people's mental health services. One of our contributors described that as a death sentence. Do you think it's acceptable?
It's not just about the resources going in, and what I would say is there's £300 million extra going into mental health services in the last financial year. By being the first government ever to set target times for access to mental health services, this will ensure that more money goes in order to deliver those targets, to make sure that, for example, 50% of those diagnosed with psychosis get to see someone and start treatment within 2 weeks.
That's not going to happen overnight.
It is going to happen. These targets come into play in April 2016. We're seeing progress. I think your programme's illustrated that we've some distance to go, and that's why I welcome the focus you've had on it. If everything was perfect, we wouldn't be sitting here, but it's not. It's a long way from that. We've got to have the same commitment that people in the field have to improve the lives of people who are caught up in this.
When you look at mental health care as a whole, what we're seeing and hearing is that it depends on where you live in terms of the services that you get in the community. Would you accept there are vast variations across the country?
Yes, there is. And it's one of the things I noticed most when I took up the post. People should get a good quality of service everywhere. And some of the letters I see from MPs and their constituents tells me that isn't the case, and I'm worried about that, and that's a measure of the success we are aiming for, to make sure that people's experiences are very different in 5 years' time than today.
That promise comes too late for those who've been brave enough to share their stories this week. They know better than anyone how tough it will be to deliver. Rachel Younger, ITV News.